Welcome to the Glow Getters podcast. My name is Fahey-Ahrndt, and I'm your host. I teach and inspire leaders to step into their productive selves and find their true potential. I'm a passionate creative and scientist with over 8 years of healthcare leadership experience. At age 25, I stepped into my first management role and didn't find the leadership advice I was looking for. So here I'm giving you the tools to end burnout and enjoy a vibrant career and life. Glad you're here to learn and grow with me. Now, on with the show. Hello, my friends. It's Kayla here. I hope you are well. Welcome to the Glow Getters podcast, or the Leadership Collaborative community. This week's podcast is just a podcast. There's no YouTube video associated with this. It's kind of funny. So I'm sitting at my kitchen table right now. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. But I actually did get ready today. So I look like, I actually have like a nice top on. And I have a little bit of makeup on. So I could record myself, but I'm just like, you know what? It's okay. I'm just gonna do my voice. I think that's okay. So I do miss all of you. I miss giving hugs and being in person, but this is fine. We're making do, and we have some hope on the horizon with the vaccinations that are hopefully going to be FDA approved. So I am just going to jump into today's topic, because I think it's going to be really valuable for all of us for December and as we head into 2021. So I was thinking about, okay, what topics do I want to cover in the Leadership Collaborative community? And if you guys don't know, the Leadership Collaborative community is a group that I have established in the beginning of this summer, but really started working on it in October, where I bring together leaders from different professions and areas of life, and we host monthly themes in this group. It's actually hosted on a software and app called Mighty Networks. So it's kind of like social media, except you don't have to be in there every single day. You don't have to stay up to date on notifications. You can just come into the community when you need something or want to learn and want to provide value or get value from me. So I teach on different topics every month, and I like to sort of balance topics between like tactical tools, templates, strategy for leadership, things that are more like leadership toolkit type of things, and also things that are less tangible like mindset and health and wellness. And so October, our first topic for the month was burnout and how to work through burnout and how to come out of it and how to recognize it and prevent it in the future. And it was so good because I think I was definitely going through a time where I was feeling really, really depleted because this COVID thing obviously has been lasting almost a year now. And in October, I was just feeling like I had nothing left to give. But I knew I had more, but I didn't have it. And I felt like I kind of lost my sparkle and my spark in my work. And so it was sort of me trying to work through, okay, how do I take care of myself better? How do I change my mindset and give myself some perspective to come out of burnout? And what I realized and learned and taught in the group was that finding alignment in your work is a simple, small adjustment each and every day to figure out and get closer to what feels right and what you can live in integrity with. When you wake up in the morning and feel like you're doing the things that makes you feel good and that you feel like, yeah, this is my true self. And it's not something that I think we come to easily. I know for me, my whole life, I've been someone who's been sort of this like high achiever, definitely looking for external validation, high school valedictorian, like did really awesome in college, led a lot of like student groups, and it's just a lot of pressure over time. And I remember after college, I started to realize like, okay, my schedule's filling up because I'm working now. Whereas when I was in school, things were a little bit more flexible. So I used to say yes to a lot of things when I was in college because I could just manage my own schedule. But when I started working, I realized like, okay, work is obviously it was a full-time gig. And I didn't have time for a lot of other things. And that was okay because in that season of life, like I wanted to jump into my career. But I wasn't able to say yes in a way that felt like it was aligned and in integrity with myself. But instead of saying no, I didn't really know how to do that. So I just kept saying yes to things, but I started dropping the ball. So I wasn't being like the best volunteer that I wanted to be. I wasn't being like the best friend that I wanted to be. And, no one would notice really. I think people are, would think, oh, she was doing a great job. But in my being, I was like, oh, I could do better and differently by allowing myself to say no so that I can say yes to the things that feel super good. And when I say yes, I can fully execute and do well on those things. So if you keep depleting yourself over time, saying yes to things that aren't fully aligned with what actually brings you joy, and you're doing these things just because maybe you're good at them and other people give you praise for them, eventually that's going to become unsustainable. So this is sort of this inner work and dialogue I've been having with myself over the last year with COVID. It's been very humbling to work at home where you don't receive like any external validation or really any recognition and quickly for the work that you're doing. And as a millennial, I was born in 1990. I think instant gratification and recognition is something that we thrive off of as millennials. Not everybody, I don't want to make generalizations, but for me, I think it's something that we learned over time. We do something well, we get praised for it with this, instant gratification culture. So working from home, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm actually doing this work for me, and I have to do it for me because it makes me light up, and I'm helping other people, and helping other people lights me up. What's my core responsibility at home and when I'm working? And it's to my people, it's to my team, it's to me. And to come to my work every day and be happy and excited rather than burnt out is how I wanted to feel. And so in October, I really focused on that in the Leadership Collaborative, and it helped me sort of move forward. And it kind of led me to December's topic. But like I said, I'm trying to balance these tangible tactical strategies and the mindset shifts. So November, I did a series on using visuals to improve your communication. And that was the first time I taught on that topic. And I think I had a lot of exciting ideas, and it was almost too many visuals for the community. And so I'm very happy with what I shared, but I don't think people got to really implement as much as I would like. So I'm changing up the format for December to experiment. And this month, again, is a mindset topic. So I'm actually calling it the leader mindset. And I'm going to just have this one topic for the month, but obviously I'll talk about different themes throughout the month. But I'm not putting as much pressure on myself to come up with daily content like I had been. It was too much. It was also too much to consume as a community member. So I'm very excited about this mindset work because I think it's a really it's a broad topic that allows us to take it anywhere you need it to go to give yourself what you need right now and as we lean into the new year. So I was thinking about this, and I think your thoughts and your behaviors are going to influence how well you take care of yourself, essentially. And I was thinking about like what determines your mindset, the way you show up. And I think that how well you take care of yourself often determines your mindset. And so it's sort of this circular thing where it's like, okay, if you have certain thoughts or behaviors, that is how you're treating yourself, your mind, your body, and you will have more thoughts, and this will change your perspective, and it will change your mindfulness. So, how can we focus on creating thoughts and behaviors or practices where we take care of ourselves really well, both mind and body, so that when we show up for work as leaders, we have the optimal mindset to feel excited and energized for why we're here, to feel aligned and like you're showing up with integrity and in your truth? Can you stand in your power and actually say, I can do this, and get creative and excited. Because as leaders, I think some of our qualities, some of the things we have to think about is we have to be visionaries at times. We have to see big picture. We've also got to be reflective and think about what worked well, what didn't work well, how could we be different, how could we do it differently. Sometimes we have to be an optimist and balance that with being a realist. So what's actually possible versus if we had no barriers or our resources weren't limited, what could we do? And also thinking about belief in your team, belief in yourself as an optimist. Side note, I'm watching Grey's Anatomy, you guys. I'm a big fan, but I didn't really keep up with it when it was like airing live on TV after college, so like 10 years ago. Okay, so probably maybe after season 5 or 6, I probably didn't watch it on TV live. So I've always just watched it on, Netflix. Well, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, with this current season, they bring back McDreamy. And so I haven't watched the episode. I read online about it and how basically Ellen Pompeo was like, okay, we have to bring joy to the viewers during COVID. So what can we do? And they're like, let's bring Derek back. So, Patrick Dempsey, I don't object to that at all. So anyways, I'm rewatching all of the Grey's series on Netflix to try to catch up so then I can watch the newest season when that comes out on Netflix. And the most recent one was Dr. Bailey was going to perform, an inoperable tumor on a child. She was going to operate on it, and she was picking her intern to be with her or her resident to assist her in the surgery. And I think Kareb said, you can't do it. That's impossible. And she's like, you're off my service. Basically, she said to him, he's like, why? And she said to him, if you don't believe I can actually do it, so you can't be on my team. So I think that so much of leadership is having this mindset where you do believe in the work you're doing, you believe in your team, you believe in yourself, even when other people doubt you or don't believe it's possible. Sometimes other people aren't going to see what you see as possible. And I think that's something that I've worked through a lot in my leadership experience. And perhaps one of the reasons I'm where I'm at now is because sometimes I just choose to see things differently because I have so much belief in my team and so much confidence in my team. Leaders have to know their audience when they're talking to folks. So be in the right mindset to sort of read the room, to have a purpose, to have that right mindset to get excited to actually prepare and over-prepare for meetings, to keep perspective and have an open mind. So when we are curious and when we are in the right headspace and we're approaching situations with, a questioning attitude, I wonder why this? What could be? How could we do it differently? You see how that feels pretty good? We're pointed in an upward direction. And I've talked about this before. Cy Wakeman, one of the leadership gurus I follow, talks about being pointed upwards and reflective and curiosity mindset. But when you're pointed downwards, or maybe your mindset isn't so great and you're full of negativity or doubt or you don't have belief, that's when you can't see what's possible. You can't find your purpose. You don't feel aligned. So back in October when I was feeling really burnt out, I had just finished my master's degree for public health. And so I was really, really itching to get into the public health field because I've been in my current at my current workplace for 8 years. And I've had many different roles throughout that time, but I just thought, there's something in me that tells me I need a change, that I'm not feeling aligned anymore. So I was looking elsewhere and I felt like I wasn't as committed to my team as I had wanted to be. And then I paused and I started to get reflective. And this is what I want to focus on in December. I was like, okay, going through this really rough time with COVID, just finished my master's, so you're really tired after school. And there is such a thing as grieving or being burnt out right after you finish something really, really large. So master's degree, that's taken me 3 years or so. And And also, like 2021, there's some unknowns still in that year with COVID and jobs and just, the economy and everything like that. But I believe that things will work out. And we're thinking about, how do we expand our family again? If you guys have been listening, I've had 2 ectopic pregnancies. I have 1 daughter, and that's wonderful. And we want to add to our family. So potentially there'll be more change this year if we decide to pursue that. So how much change do I want in my life in 2021 on top of other ambiguities? So I said to myself, Kayla, you have been such a human doing for so long, doing your checklist items, finishing school, doing work, check, check, check. And that's led you to this mindset of burnout where you're spiraled down and you're unable to find curiosity and you're sort of like lacking in vision and just sort of, you guys, I would show up every day like, why am I doing this? I feel so disconnected from the mission. When I started working, I wanted to cure cancer. I wanted to, save people like Mrs. Dosey, who was my 8th grade teacher who died from cancer, she motivated me so much. And I'm a business person now in healthcare, and so just felt like so disconnected from the patients. But then I changed my mindset by, number 1, getting more sleep at night, going to bed at 9 o'clock, stop doom scrolling on social media during the election. You guys, I haven't checked the news in so long. I just found out that they finished recounting ballots in certain states. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that happened last week. And just kind of took a break and slowed down and just focused on doing the minimum every day and being really present with my family, not being on my phone at night, and just accomplishing some of the small tasks that have been on my to-do list at work for a while that were making me feel sort of guilty and tired and burnt out. And it's funny because it was this balance of rest and taking care of my physical health and mental health at home, exercising, doing some ballet, and taking small, meaningful action at work from some of these to-do items that were making me feel guilty that I hadn't done them. And action actually breeds confidence and actually encourages you to keep going and builds momentum. So now I'm in a place where I'm like, you know what? I want to focus on being less of a human doing and more of a human being. So saying no to more things or continuing to say no and saying yes to the right things. And the right things feel like, you know what? My team relies on me at work and I rely on them, and I'm really, really freaking good at my job. I am really good at it. That's why I'm in the role. And you know what? It's fun because it allows me to be a nerd and to be creative. So I can do this some more because I'd rather have things a little bit more constant in 2021 when we might be making changes in other areas of my life. So I'm actively choosing to keep certain things the same, but reinvigorate them with renewed, rested energy. That's, where I'm in a good mindset versus where I'm feeling burnt out and depleted after accomplishing major goals and just not having a break. So, it's funny, all this work from home, it's like I said, it's humbled me, and it's also allowed me to focus on what's important. I had this false sense of being productive just from driving to work every day and walking from the parking ramp and going to and fro to meetings and okay, I'm doing the thing, I'm rocking it. And it's like, those don't actually matter. Sitting down, doing the work, showing up for your people, moving the needle, finding grace, listening really well to your people, reflecting, that's doing the work. That's what matters. And you can't do that when you're burnt out and you don't have the right mindset. So I'm feeling really good as I lean into December, and I really want to share that with you guys and with the Leadership Collaborative. And so I'm going to be talking about how do we take care of ourselves so we have those right thoughts and behaviors and we can have that awesome mindset. So if you haven't checked it out already, I did a kind of a funny reel on Instagram the other day to that song, gonna have a good day. So good. And basically it was like, get sleep, hydrate, move your body, get your thoughts on paper, and dance it out. And I don't want to say it's simple as that, but it is sort of having that established routine that's actually, it's structured, but it's flexible. So the one tip I want to leave you guys with as we start this mindset, the Leader Mindset December theme, is having a routine that's structured but flexible. So I used to have this routine that was very structured and it was very rigid. Like, okay, for 10 minutes I read. For 30 minutes I work out. For this minutes I, blah, blah, blah. And when I got tired, there was no room for changing it up or allowing for more, whatever time I needed. So I realized I've got to be structured and have a sort of a plan, but I should also be able to adapt it and have it be flexible. So one example is recently I've been doing this 80-day workout program, and it's a lot of lifting and it's cardio and core work. And I don't think I've had the proper form when I've been doing like back flies and things like that. And so my neck started to hurt really bad. And I love to get massages as part of self-care and relieving stress, but I haven't been doing that since COVID. So my neck just became like really in a lot of pain, and I wasn't able to work out for a few days. Like I couldn't even move my neck. And so then I had to start sleeping on my back, and I'm still looking for a good neck therapeutic pillow. So if you have a really nice recommendation, please send it my way. And so what ended up happening is I started to just stop working out for a few days, but then I stumbled across this Instagram page. Her name is Tyler Peck, Tylerpeck, and she is a principal dancer for the New York Ballet. And because of COVID, she hasn't been able to perform and train in her like studios. So she's been doing these Instagram live dance classes to make ballet more accessible to everyone. And she's just a breath of joy. And you guys, I kid you not, I feel like this is fate. The day I decide to watch, she comes on, she's talking about how she injured her neck right before, like a year before COVID, and she had to be out of dance to get better and recover. And she came back to dance, did one show, and then COVID hit and she wasn't able to dance anymore because of COVID. And so she had this neck injury, and she was talking about how the surgeons wanted to do surgery on her. And she was like, gosh, I don't want surgery. Like, this could be career ending. She's like 31 years old, so she's pretty young. And she said she had like a holistic person, naturopath, come with her to these appointments. And they're like, well, Tyler doesn't have these same issues you guys are seeing, even though her scans look bad. Like, I'm trying to treat her and she's feeling differently than like what you guys are saying, is supposed to be happening in reality. So Tyler's like, well, I'm going to try these natural things first before I choose surgery, and surgery will be my last resort. And so she was saying that so much of her injury was her mental, like it was her mindset. She worked on unblocking some of the things she had been avoiding thinking about or dealing with, whatever past traumas or mental blocks she had. And all of a sudden her scans started to get better. And she still had to do like PT and rehab and everything and train slower and come back. And she said she'll still always have a little bit of like issues with her neck, but it was mostly healed because of her work on her mindset. Like, how amazing is that? And so when I heard this and my neck was injured, I was like, I need something to do that's going to help me stretch my body out before I start doing this 80-day program again. So we started doing her Instagram ballet live classes. And my neck feels amazing. I feel stretched out. My muscles feel long and lean. And I'm like getting that turnout back. And it's so fun. It's so fun hearing words like coupe and frappe and tendu and all of that. And just sort of diving back into something that lights me up. Tyler is a light, and she's such a good example of how she had this really bad season of burnout, actually physically injured herself. and then came back by working on her mindset, and it fixed so much of her issues. So I think when we're in this burned out state, we can actually manifest these physical symptoms. So going back to this, sorry, that was a huge tangent, but going back to this structured yet flexible routine, when I injured my neck, I decided to focus on being better at night with how I slept, less social media, more doing what felt right for my body, and just thinking positive thoughts. And like lighting myself up with people who make me feel good, which I loved taking Tyler's dance class. So I think that's something to consider is make your routine structured, but allow it to be flexible so you can change it based on what you need in the moment. What do I need today? What do we need right now to feel good? And that's going to help you so much build resilience and avoid burnout, prevent it. And I think we're all going to be in that place where we do have times where we're lower. But if we can sort of spot those times and recognize it, we can help ourselves or help other people navigate that. All right, so as you guys think about your mindset going into December in 2021, I would encourage you to keep a journal, maybe one line a day of what felt really good today, made me feel better, and what didn't make me feel as good, so that you can either do more or do less of those things. You might even choose to write down any of those limiting beliefs that come your way or things that, the negative talk that you say to yourself, so you can remember, like catch it when you say those things to yourself and flip your mindset on that. Think about how you could reframe something and know that it's not going to be like, today I'm feeling icky and tomorrow I feel better. It's sort of this gradual work that we all have to do. And what's really awesome is when you are in the right mindset and headspace, you guys, you're limitless. You can do anything that you put your mind to. It's as simple as that. I think that when we are manifesting and when we are putting out good vibes and thoughts into the universe, we manifest good coming back to us. So you'll start to see more good as you start to put more good out into the universe. And so I'm excited to guide you through this with this month's the leadership mindset topic. So I will say, if you like this information and like kind of how I'm sharing this information, I would love to have you in the Leadership Collaborative community. You can find the link to this in the show notes. You can go check out the membership. If you are interested and want to talk more about it, please send me a DM on Instagram at Fahey-Ahrndt. I would love to talk to you more about this or just toss around ideas around leadership. And then you can also follow me on Instagram and just hang out and see the content that I'm putting out there. Try to add value to my feed and share some of these things in snippets to you so that you can still get the information and stay connected with me, and we can do this together. So I hope you all have a wonderful start to your December. Stay tuned for more podcast episodes like this throughout the month as I work through more of the leadership mindset content. All right, I love you guys. Until next time, be a light in the world, and I will talk to you soon. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to the Glow Getters podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a good rating and review on iTunes. It really helps me get this podcast in front of other people. If you'd like to connect with me, please follow me on Instagram at Fahey-Ahrndt. And you can always check out my website for more content, blog posts, and recipes at glowgetterslife.com. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.